Welcome to Strip Coverlet, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I'm Adrian Ford, and we are here for a TBR for the month of September 2023, and I have made the executive decision. Look, guys, I know I said I was going to maybe cut back, go through my birthday, and then not upload a video every single day, but then you'd know when my birthday was, and I don't want that. No one is allowed to know anything about me. So I am going to do my best to make it another month of everyday uploads every day here on the channel, and wouldn't you know it, like we do here, basically exclusively content-based content. The lone exception being two exceptions, I suppose. There is an announcement video. There will be a TBR and a summary video at the end of the month, but also Fridays will be speckled with the Weekly Reader, a sort of podcast that I am doing. Look, here, I forgot this part. The reason I am doing this is because if I go all the way through the month of September, that will be 6 consecutive months with daily uploads. And I'm really kind of proud of that. The weekends will belong to Bukowski, as both Saturday and Sunday through the month we will be reading Charles Bukowski. There is but one episode that I have not quite figured out what I will be doing for the Sunday the 24th. But here's we have on Fridays the Weekly Reader, Saturday and Sundays we will have Bukowski. Mondays we're going to continue the Plath read-along, the Sylvia Plath read-along that I'm doing on the channel. On Tuesdays, with one lone exception, we'll be talking about James Joyce's Dubliners, the short stories that happen in that collection. I'll skip to Thursday for now. On Thursdays, we will continue Ernest Hemingway, a read-along for the Finca Vigia edition of Ernest Hemingway's short stories. And you see it there. On Wednesdays, I am going to be, I believe, picking up Holly, the next new Stephen King book. There will be an announcement on the 5th and weekly installments on Wednesdays. So on Friday, the 1st of September, we will have another The Weekly Reader, a podcast where I talk about literature. If you have, what I try to do in there is have a big question. I will talk about the big question, try to answer it, like the first episode was, Is Literature Dead? I think I don't know how I feel about that question. I don't know how I feel about the answer, but the attempt was there. And then I will have a poetry reading, an excerpt, and we will talk about comments from the previous episode. So if you have big questions about literature, ideas for the Weekly Reader, let me know, and we will go over some of those potentially in that series. On Saturday the 2nd, it will be Charles Bukowski, Gamblers All. Sunday the 3rd, Bukowski, Close to Greatness. Monday the 4th, which is Labor Day, Sylvia Plath's Vanity Fair. On Tuesday, we will have an announcement video for the Holly series. On the 6th will be Holly Part 1. I do not know how that book is broken up at this point. I don't know if it is simply chapters like Fairy Tale, or if it is broken up more like The Shining and It, where there are sections of the book. So I'll have to sort of play that by ear as we get it. On Tuesday, I will go buy the book, and on Tuesday, I will also break down the book. And on Wednesday, we will have the first reading, no matter whatever that entails. On Thursday, the 7th, Ernest Hemingway, The Capital of the World, spelled with an A, The Capital of the World, a strange short story from Ernest Hemingway, something that is a very interesting one, but definitely worth the read. Even if you decide not to come back for the video, that short story is, well, earnest. On Friday, The Weekly Reader, Episode 5. On Saturday the 9th, Bukowski, Confession. Sunday the 10th, Bukowski, The Aliens. I'm really pushing towards that 100 poetry discussions for Bukowski mark. On Monday the 11th, from Sylvia Plath, Strumpet Song. On the 12th, James Joyce, Counterparts, which is either the second or third video on that short story here on the channel. Wednesday the 13th, Holly, Part 2. Thursday the 14th, Ernest Hemingway, The Snows of Kilimanjaro. A short story from Ernest Hemingway that is, in my opinion, extremely overrated. On the 15th, The Weekly Reader, it's another Friday. On the 16th, Bukowski, Raw with Love. That is not something that you will find on the Hub. It is actually a Bukowski poem. Sunday the 17th, Bukowski, The German Hotel. A very quirky type of poem. I wasn't sure exactly what to do with it. So the Bukowski videos are all already filmed with the exception of the mystery video for the 24th. So we will see what comes of that. On the 18th, Sylvia Plath, Tinker, Jack, and Tidy Waves, which thus far into the Sylvia Plath read-along is my favorite title. I have no idea what the poem is or what it's about. We will cross that bridge when we get to it, but Tinker, Jack, and Tidy Waves, phenomenal title. On the 19th, James Joyce, Clay, from Dubliners, a short story that not only have I not read, I don't know a single thing about that short story. On the 20th, Holly, Part 3. The 21st, Hemingway, Old Man at the Bridge. From what I can tell, Ernest Hemingway's shortest short story. I recently did a video on that short story a couple months ago, I believe, but I was not doing the Hemingway read-along at the time. The Hemingway read-along has a bit of a different formula for it. I discussed some writer stuff in there as well, so if you were interested in that, what it was that makes Hemingway such a good writer, what it is that makes those short stories worth reading as opposed to just the lit crit stuff in there. Friday the 22nd, another weekly reader episode. Again, if you have questions, if you have a big idea about literature that you'd like to see appear on, or here, I guess, appear on that, in that series, let me know. It's getting difficult already to sort of parse out what I want to talk about. The 23rd, Bukowski, The Poetry Reading, is not a poetry reading by Charles Bukowski. It is a poem called The Poetry Reading, sort of a meta thing, a poet reading inception type idea there. Again, the 24th, Sunday the 24th, that blank date for Bukowski. Got to throw something in there, just don't know what yet. On the 25th, from Sylvia Plath, Fawn. On the 26th, from James Joyce, A Painful Case. This will, I believe, be the second video on A Painful Case here on the channel. Holly, Part 4, on Wednesday the 27th. The 28th brings us Hemingway, Up in Michigan. Up in Michigan is not so as overrated as is The Snows of Kilimanjaro, in my opinion. Up in Michigan might be underrated. And one of the funny things about this short story, if you go way back, if you get short story collections from way back, normally they feature Up in Michigan. For some reason, that short story used to be favored and is no longer. Admittedly, it is a short story that took me 4 or 5 reads to sort of find something that I like about it, and once I did, the entire short story, in my opinion, sort of opens up. On the 29th of September, the October TBR, a bit of a spoiler there, and on the 30th, we will do a September wrap-up. Tomorrow on this channel will be an August wrap-up. So that's it, guys. That is the prospective month of September. Now, as always, probably I'm going to screw up 1 or 2 times, but hopefully I will have a video in the place of whatever it is that I end up screwing up. At any rate, the end of September will bring us, I believe, up to maybe the 12th part of a 15-part read-along for James Joyce Dubliners. If you have any ideas for the next read-along that I should do on this channel as far as short stories are concerned, let me know. The Sylvia Plath read-along will bring us to part 17 of about 250, so that one's coming to a close soon as well. Let me know what poetry collection I should do after that. And the Ernest Hemingway read-along, we are only in the opening chapters there. Now, there are some bigger videos on the way, some higher sort of production value videos, things that take me a really, really long time here. So I beg your patience in that regard, but literature-based content every day for 6 months in a row has to count for something. That is all I have time for with this September TBR, and I hope to have you along for every video along the way.